about ready for bed. Yeah. Having trouble sleeping. Well, it happens. That happens to all of us. Yeah. So, why do you think you're having trouble sleeping? It can be hard to pin down sometimes, can't it? Are you nervous about tomorrow, or a test or a project you want to be working on? Maybe. Well, do you feel like you studied enough? Yeah. Well, that's the thing about being a human, is we only get done exactly what we get done. And, I guarantee that no matter what happens tomorrow, you're gonna be okay. Do I sometimes have trouble sleeping? Yeah. Sometimes. Depends. But, well, let's go over our little checklist. Okay. Do you have your water? Check. And did you brush your teeth? Give me a smile. There they are. Yeah, those are some good looking teeth. Is the temperature okay? You mean make it cooler? No, you're good, okay. Well, have you said your gratitudes? Your daily gratitudes? Well, what were you grateful for today? And what are you grateful? Yeah. What are you grateful for? Mm-hmm. 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 Those are all very good things. Yeah. Well, what am I grateful for? I am grateful for you. I am grateful for Mommy. I am grateful for our house and that delicious dinner. Oh, yeah. I am grateful for the goose. Yeah. Oh no, she's sleeping right here. Yeah, that's a good boo. Hi, boo boo. You're keeping him safe. Yes, you're good, boo boo. You're keeping him safe. Yes, you are. Believe me, Lucy will not let anything bad happen to you. Of that, I am certain. Yeah. Sure, I can tell you a story. Yeah. Okay. What should our story be about? Did I ever tell you the story about Ralphie, the red Radioflyer wagon? Okay. Let's tell the tale of Ralphie, the red Radioflyer wagon. Once upon a time, there was a shiny, beautiful red Radioflyer wagon. It had shiny white hubcaps on its four wheels and shiny black rubber on the tires and a beautiful shiny black handle. Now Ralphie loved to play with the other neighborhood kids. In fact, Ralphie's favorite pastime was when Lucy would come around with her harness on, and she would hook herself up to Ralphie, and they would run around the neighborhood, pulling the children like a ride. Lucy was so strong that sometimes she would go a little too fast, and Ralphie would have to say, "Hey, Lucy, shh, a little less." And Lucy would look back and smile. She'd tone it back a little bit. But the kids loved Ralphie, and Ralphie loved all the kids. And Ralphie loved Lucy, his trusty sled dog. Well, one day, during one of their longer adventures together, they went past an old railroad yard off in the distance. And Ralphie looked off in the distance and he saw a mighty engine. This was a beautiful, classic steam engine. Have you ever seen a steam engine? Yeah, they have the smokestacks and those big wheels with their right? Yeah. Well, this beautiful engine clearly had once been absolutely magnificent, and even in its old age, still looked very stately. This gave Ralphie an idea, and he started to wonder, what must it be like to be a mighty engine and travel across the country on the railroad tracks? For Ralphie loved his friends and the children and his great dog Lucy. But he also had a yearn to adventure. And one day, Ralphie, the red Radioflyer wagon, asked Lucy, "Hey, let's sneak in to the old railroad yard. I want to meet that engine." Lucy, being a curious dog herself, agreed. And the next day, Lucy came by wearing her harness and tied herself onto Ralphie's shiny black handle. And off they went. They got onto the railroad yard. They went past some old flat cars and big box cars and some older, more modern diesel engines, saying hi to everyone, of course. And then they got to the beautiful Lucy and Ralphie sat there on the tracks, looking up at his magnificent old engineering mechanics, the big wheels and the smokestacks. They could almost hear the whistle blowing and hear the mighty engine going down the rails. Finally, Ralphie, the red Radioflyer wagon, got the courage, and he looked up and he said, "Hello? Hello, excuse me? Do you have a name?" There came a sound like a yawn. And a big, deep, sleepy voice said, "Well, hello there, little wagon. It looks like you have a friend with you." And Lucy looked up and smiled and wagged her tail. And Ralphie said, "Well, hi there. My name's Ralphie, and I'm a red Radioflyer wagon." And the big, beautiful, mighty engine looked down, and in a warm, kind voice said, "I see that. Well, nice to meet you, Ralphie. My name is Tommy the Choo-Choo, and I've been far and wide all over this great country. Tell me, Ralphie, what brings you by today?" And Ralphie looked up and said, "Well, it's just that I've never left our neighborhood. I love being pulled around by Lucy. Lucy's my dog." "Oh, that's a good dog," said Tommy. "Yeah, she's a great dog. She pulls me around the neighborhood, and we give rides to all the kids, and they laugh, and they smile, and giggle, and it's so much fun, but I wonder what's out there beyond. I want to know. I want to be a great engine like you." Tommy said, "That's interesting. You want to be an engine that roams across the countryside, that travels from New York to Los Angeles, down to San Diego and up to Seattle, across to Boise and Great Falls and Dubuque and Minneapolis, and down through Atlanta and New Orleans." Yes, said Ralphie, "I want to do all those things." "Well," said Tommy, "I'm afraid that's impossible." And Ralphie looked up and said, What do you mean?" And Tommy looked down, smiled, and said, "Well, little Ralphie, while you do have wheels and a bed, just like my railroad cars, and you even have a bit of an engine in that beautiful You're too small to fit on my railroad tracks. And Ralphie said, yeah, but I want to be able to explore the world and see what you got to see. And Tommy smiled and said, I understand that, Ralphie. I do. But do you want to know a secret of mine? Yeah, said Ralphie. Ralphie, I have always wanted to be free of my train tracks. For a while, I have gotten to travel and see much of this great land. I am always bound to these rails. I am actually envious of you, little friend, for you get to go wherever your heart's content. And while you may not travel as far as I do, you get to see more detail than I ever could. For I have never seen a neighborhood street except in the distance. I have never been inside of a garage or a backyard. For you see, little friend, each of us has pros and cons, I guess you could say. And it does us no good wishing we had the life of another. A willow tree cannot be an oak. A duck cannot be a badger. A wolf cannot be an eagle. Everything has a place and a purpose. And what we get to do is find our own joy in who we are and try not to be too envious of others. Ralphie thought about that. He had never thought of it from that perspective. He just wanted to be on those rails and cruise along and see the countryside and see the mountains and smell the air. And it hadn't occurred to Ralphie, the red Radioflyer, that Tommy, the mighty choo-choo, was also bound by his rails. Tommy thought about that, and he looked up at, Ralphie thought about that, and he looked up at the mighty Thomas and smiled. And Tommy looked down at Ralphie and smiled. And then Lucy wagged her tail in her own way of saying goodbye, and Ralphie waved goodbye to Tommy, the mighty choo-choo. Then they went back to their neighborhood. And there, waiting in the driveway, were several of the neighborhood children, expectantly waiting for their ride. Isn't that right, Lucy? Yeah. And so it was that Ralphie began to appreciate more of what he had and didn't worry as much about the things he didn't. Instead of focusing on the things he didn't have, Ralphie focused on the wonderful things he did have. He had a home. He had a family. The brother and sister were always using Ralphie to play and carry things around, not to mention the rides. And Ralphie realized how important it is to appreciate the things we have. And that night, Lucy curled up in Ralphie's bed in a nice, snuggly blanket. And Ralphie had sweet dreams of traveling the countryside, being pulled by his mighty, mighty dog, and are you getting sleepy now? Yeah. Good. Well, sweet dreams, honey. I love you very much. And Mommy loves you very much. And Lucy loves you very, very much. And tomorrow